Rev up your engines.
Rosales says, I have a 2015 Dodge Ram Eco Diesel. It's two-wheel drive. I want to turn it into four-wheel drive. Okay? Here's how you do it. Sell it and buy one that has four-wheel drive on it. It is such a gigantic hassle to switch from two to four-wheel drive. Modern cars, trucks, they're all computerized. You start switching that, the computer's got to be replaced, sensors. It is such a hassle, believe me. Sell the one you got and buy one that's four-wheel drive. It's the same thing I tell people. If they want to switch from a standard transmission to an automatic or an automatic to a standard transmission, you're better off just selling your car and buying one that was set up that way. It's just too much hassle. TX20 Tactical Droid says, I got a 97 Crown Vic and my ABS light is stuck on. How do I get it off my dash? Well, to do it correctly, of course, you have to fix the system. Then you got to find a guy like me that's got one of these fancy computers. We have to analyze it, and it can be anything from a $50 wheel sensor to a $800 modulator, ABS modulator system. So if you just want to get rid of it yourself, well, a lot of guys put a piece of black tape over it. And if you want to be more professional, pop the dash out. It's an easy job getting the cluster out. Go inside with the ice pick and pop the light bulb for it, and it won't come on anymore. A lot of guys will do that. Joel Engelhardt says, Scotty, please read my question and help. I have a 2012 Honda Accord. I changed the pads and the rotors. When I slam on the brakes, it makes a grinding noise. First thing you have to realize, if you change just one pair, the front ones or the rear ones, and those are new, and you got old ones on the other pair, it's probably the old ones grinding because now they got more strain on them. I see that all the time. But if you changed all four pads and rotors, you changed them all out, and it's grinding, then something's wrong with the parts that you got. I've seen it where sometimes they sell rotors that are the slightly wrong size, so they start rubbing on the inside, touching the metal. And I've seen pads that were built the wrong size. Years ago, I tried saving people money, and I bought a lot of cheaper brake pads. And the problem with that was they'd make noises like that. And sometimes I'd look and see, it's not the right size. I get my grinder, I'd grind pieces off. I don't mess with that garbage anymore. I buy quality pads. You know, if I got a customer that says, well, I want the cheap pads, I say, you buy them, I'll put them on. If they make noise, don't come whining at me. They'll stop okay, but if they're noisy, it's your own fault for being too cheap. So odds are you either didn't do them all or you got cheap parts that don't fit just right. And I see that all the time these days, especially if you buy them on eBay or something. Gary Wilkes says, Scotty, I'm thinking about buying a Vauxhall Insignia Sports Tourer. What do you think? You live in England? I saw tons of them there. They're very popular vehicles. You know, there's nothing wrong with buying one if you live in England. If you live in the United States, forget it. You never get parts for those things, you know? But in Europe, yeah, you know, especially in England, if you like that car, you like the way it rides, there's plenty of them out there. I met a guy who was in love with one. I was in England. He had two of them, and he's always owned them, and he loved them. He was kind of mad, though, because they wouldn't make the model he wanted in the color that he wanted, and he was mad at them for not making it in that color, which I think is kind of silly. I mean, color, schmuller. I mean, I care about how the car runs. The color, to me, I never cared about the color of a car. I always bought them used and bought a good car. And whatever color they were, that's what color they were. I didn't even think about it. Fiend Gaming says, Scotty, where do I get miscellaneous things for my car? I have a 96 Toyota Corolla DX. The radio's missing, the dials, and the door handles are breaking. Personally, I go to junkyards for stuff when they get old and break like that, but yours is so old. It's 23 years old. The stuff in the junkyard, the plastic's probably going to be bad and breaking too. So, you know, you're stuck with try to find them aftermarket. Go online, because the Chinese make a lot of aftermarket parts, even for older ones like that, because there's millions of them still running, so they still make parts. Try places like Rock Auto or any online and see what's available online and go that route. Hussein Mommy says, Scotty, I want to buy a Renault Sandero. Is it good? Well, I'm assuming you're not in the United States, because they don't sell them in the United States. They used to, and they pulled out because of such bad sales, and Americans hated them. Now, if you live in Europe, a lot of people buy Renaults there. Parts are available. There are mechanics there that know how to work on them, and it wouldn't be a bad idea buying one in England. And I'm sure in France it wouldn't be a bad idea. But in the United States, don't ever think about buying a Renault. There's no parts availability. Nobody knows how to work on the stupid things. Dominique Esdina says, my clutch fluid looks dark, and I feel my clutch feels weird. Will fluid change fix the problem? Well, it could. You know, bleed it all out, put in new fluid, and see what happens. And if it's still weird, change the master and the slave. If it's really old, eventually those seals just wear out. And especially when you take the slave out, squeeze squeeze the rubber boot, the bellows boot. If you squeeze it and fluid leaks out, then the seals are gone. And when you change the master, where the rod goes in, if that rubber boot has fluid in it, it's leaking and it needs to be changed too. You can always check them physically first.
So if you never want to miss another one of my new car repair videos, remember to ring that bell.